Welcome back to Accounting for Everyone. In our previous session, we explored the three elements that define financial position. But those elements emerge from three simple questions. What economic resources does the business control? These are called assets. What obligations does the business owe to others? These are liabilities. And finally, what residual interest remains for the owners after liabilities are settled? That residual interest is called equity. Together, these three elements underpin the statement of financial position. But financial reporting does not end with position, because understanding the resources an entity controls and the claims against those resources at a point in time is only part of the story. In this session, we move to something equally important. So stay with me until the end, because by the conclusion of this video, you will clearly understand how financial performance affects financial position. This brings us to a critical question in financial reporting. How did the business perform? During periodic performance reviews and reporting assessments, management does not merely review transactions. They evaluate outcomes. In executive meetings and board discussions, a fundamental question is raised. Did our strategic decisions generate measurable economic value during the reporting period? Investors ask, has the business delivered sustainable returns on the capital invested? Lenders examine, is profitability sufficient to support interest coverage and debt obligations? Analysts assess, are margins strengthening? Is earnings performance improving compared to prior periods? And owners ultimately ask, has shareholder wealth increased? The answer to these questions is not found in operational volume. It is not found in revenue alone. It is found in financial performance. And that performance is presented in the statement of profit or loss. But what exactly is the statement of profit or loss? The statement of profit or loss measures an entity's financial performance over a reporting period. For example, for the financial year ended 31st December. It captures the financial outcomes of the entity's operations during that period. It does not present resources at a specific date. Instead, it evaluates results during the reporting period. It reports the income generated and the expenses incurred in generating that income, and the difference between them determines whether the entity generated a profit or incurred a loss. But the significance of this statement extends far beyond reporting profit. It reveals whether operations are efficient. It shows whether revenue growth translates into genuine economic returns. It indicates whether costs are controlled or expanding unchecked. It influences investor confidence, lending decisions, dividend distributions, and strategic planning. Without understanding performance, financial reporting remains incomplete. But to understand why performance matters, we must first recognize the limits of financial position alone. Position alone does not explain how value was created or whether it was created at all. Assets may increase, but was that increase driven by profit or by additional borrowing? Only the statement of profit or loss provides that explanation. One statement presents position, the other reveals performance. And performance is what ultimately determines profitability, financial strength, and the capacity for future growth. To evaluate that performance clearly, we must examine its two fundamental elements, income and expenses. Income and expenses underpin the structure of the statement of profit or loss. Performance does not arise by chance. It results from business decisions and transactions. Ultimately, it is built from income earned and expenses incurred during the reporting period. Without income, there is no inflow of economic benefit. Without expenses, there is no cost of generating that benefit. And the relationship between these two elements determines the outcome, profit or loss. To see how performance takes shape, we must understand how income and expenses are organized within the statement. Let us now see how financial performance is built. As the diagram shows, it begins with income. Income represents economic value flowing into the business. For example, when a retailer sells goods or a consulting firm earns service fees, that is revenue arising from core activities. Another example is when the business sells equipment at a gain, earns interest on bank deposits, or receives dividend income from investments in shares or bonds. These represent other income arising from non-core activities. Regardless of its source, income increases profit for the reporting period. But how does that affect equity? Profit increases equity and is accumulated in retained earnings, which are a component of equity. Now consider expenses. Expenses represent economic value consumed in generating income. For example, salaries paid, rent incurred, utilities used. These are operating expenses arising from core activities. Sometimes the business also incurs losses. For example, inventory may become obsolete. A receivable may become irrecoverable. These are examples of losses arising from non-core activities and are included in expenses. All expenses reduce profit. When profit decreases, retained earnings decrease. Because retained earnings are a component of equity, performance directly affects equity. Income builds profit. Expenses reduce profit. Profit adjusts retained earnings, which form part of equity in the statement of financial position. That is how financial performance connects directly to financial position. Let us now look at this relationship in a simple and structured way. We know that income increases profit. We know that expenses reduce it. But let me ask you a question. If a business earns more income than expenses, what happens to equity? And if expenses exceed income, what changes next? Think about it for a moment. Does profit remain in the statement of profit or loss, or does it move somewhere else? Profit flows into retained earnings, and retained earnings form part of equity. So performance does not stop at profit. It continues into financial position. Let us now trace how performance flows into equity, step by step. As the diagram shows, income increases profit, and because income increases equity, profit increases retained earnings. Retained earnings form part of equity. Now follow the opposite direction. Expenses reduce profit, and because expenses decrease equity, lower profit reduces retained earnings. Reduced retained earnings decrease equity. So performance does not stop at profit. Income and expenses ultimately determine changes in equity. This is the structural link between financial performance and financial position. Let us now bring everything together. As the diagram shows, we have now explored the two core aspects presented in the financial statements: financial position and financial performance. Financial position tells us where the entity stands at a specific date. It reflects the assets it controls, the liabilities it owes, and the equity that remains for its owners. On the other hand, financial performance explains how that position changed over the reporting period. Income increases equity. Expenses decrease equity. The net result of income and expenses is profit or loss. Profit increases retained earnings. Loss reduces retained earnings. Retained earnings form part of equity in the statement of financial position. So what does all of this mean? Financial performance does not remain in the statement of profit or loss. It ultimately affects equity and reshapes financial position. The statement of financial position presents the outcome. The statement of profit or loss explains the movement that created that outcome. Together, these statements provide a structured representation of an entity's financial position and financial performance. In the next session, we will explore how financial statements are structured and presented so that you can read and interpret them clearly, logically, and with confidence. If this explanation helped you understand financial reporting more clearly, you are most welcome to subscribe and join us for future lessons. Thank you for watching. Your support helps us continue creating clear, structured explanations of accounting concepts for everyone.